Artu? Where are you? Artu? Artu? Huh? Artu, you're on fire! R2-D2, you found a cigarette. Well, I don't think smoking is grown up at all. Because it's very dangerous. Smoking does dreadful things to your lungs and is very bad for your heart. Well, I know I don't have one, but humans do, and I think we should set a good example. Well done, R2. Oh, hello. You know smoking is bad for your health, and it isn't grown up at all. So please, don't smoke. R2, do you really think I don't have a heart?
Hello and welcome to the Research Sofa. My name's Suzanne Crosland, and today I'm going to be talking about the delivery of the SCIMITAR intervention, which looked at the effectiveness of a bespoke smoking cessation intervention for people who live with serious mental health difficulties such as schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. The main driver for the concept of the study was that the single most modifiable factor of the health gap is smoking. So how did we engage people and how were we effective? We felt that the important issues were to tailor the intervention for the person. We believed that the structure of the intervention needed to be less rigid and not a replication of the programme devised for the general population. We also believed that the smoking cessation practitioners needed to have some working knowledge of the issues and problems for people living with serious mental health problems. The feedback that we received from the participants was overwhelmingly positive, that they felt far more comfortable having discussions with somebody who knew about their particular difficulties or diagnosis, and this helped to break down barriers, build up really useful therapeutic relationships. Because the practitioner also knew the structure of the mental health care systems, it was easy for them to navigate to ensure that the team looking after the participants acknowledged that they were taking part in the research, and also to highlight any difficulties there might be with access to nicotine replacement products or the possibility of a reduction in medication as a result of smoking cessation. There was also a reassurance that any potential relapse in mental health would be recognised and the concern shared immediately with the participants' care team. There were quite a few misconceptions about stopping smoking amongst the potential participants and also amongst the mental health practitioners, such as would it increase anxiety in the participants? Could it cause a worsening in mental health? Or could Champix cause relapse? And these problems, these issues, these concerns were allayed by a discussion with the participant and the mental health practitioners. For lots of participants, it was refreshing for them to have someone who had faith in their ability to stop smoking, was there to encourage them, even if the first attempt to quit wasn't successful.
Someone is smoking over there.
Something we cats would never do.
Filling their lungs with thick, dark hair.
What a disgusting thing to do.
Cats have 9 lives with 8 to spare. Humans have 1.
With none to barter.
Why do they smoke?
Why don't they care?
Humans are smart, but cats are smarter. Listen to cats, you men and women. Take care of your lungs. They're only human.
The American Lung Association, the Christmas Seal people.
What worked best? We found that the use of a carbon monoxide monitor at each session was a really useful addition to the intervention. Initially, it was quite an eye-opener for the people to realise how much carbon monoxide was in their system, and then there was such a sense of achievement when they began to see the carbon monoxide reduce as their cigarette use was reduced. We also used a savings calculator which was able to calculate how much people would save per week, month, year if they cease to use cigarettes. And this was really useful. Tobacco poverty is a major issue, especially people who have serious mental illness who can't work and are reliant on benefits.
If you smoke 20 a day, you're sending hundreds of pounds up in smoke each year. Daft, isn't it? You could spend it on a holiday or on the kids. Give up now. Haven't you coughed up enough?
Tailoring the behavioural support to the individual participant was crucial. We used diaries to get a sense of daily activities and structures so that we could identify when the cravings might be particularly bad, what strategies we could put into place to give people the best possible opportunity to overcome those cravings. Another thing which was really important was the explanation of how the nicotine replacement products worked. Some of the side effects which people experienced were as a result of poor use, such as burning sensations from the chewing gum, or hiccups from the spray, and education into proper use meant that these difficulties were overcome. Seeing someone in their own home helped to build a picture of the person and therefore adjust the intervention and strategies to suit them. This would have been so much more difficult had the intervention taken place in a neutral environment. The structured cut down to quit approach was really useful, who saw an abrupt quit just as far too daunting. They were able to see their carbon monoxide readings reduce, and this increased the incentive to reduce the cigarette use further. It also gave the opportunity to tweak the strategies and to work together with the participant to look at ways to manage when the times when the cravings were particularly hard to ignore. So there are some observations on the delivery of the intervention which I hope you found useful. Thank you for listening.
My name is Julian and we are at the St Mary's Hospital in Portsmouth. I'm a volunteer. I do some admin roles for the Academy of Research and Improvement team. I was a smoker for about 25, 26 years, and I used to smoke because my friends smoked. When I was about 18, I was diagnosed as schizophrenic. Since then, I've been receiving medication and treatment. I was dealing with the mental health problems, and my smoking was really, it was an additional sort of issue. It's quite an all-encompassing addiction. You find that it takes over many aspects of your life, so it's quite difficult to give up. We discussed when I would give up and what it would be like to give up and how much of a change in my life it would be and whether I could visualise having given up. Once I'd given up, it became quite a done thing, and it was quite easy. It made that whole process a lot easier, moving from one to the other.
Julian mentioned we're all different and we might all have the same diagnosis, but our experience of that diagnosis is going to be very different. So it's really about listening so carefully to what that person has to say and asking the right questions to try to get to know what's important and what the motivators are and what the barriers are.
To say, well, I'm a non-smoker was one less complication to my health conundrum, really. So taking that out of the equation was a really valuable experience for me.
Initially it gave him that extra bit of confidence, but he's not. And I've been there, you know, the sort of, you're sitting in a place where you can't smoke and you start getting a bit twitchy, even a bit irritable, you know. And we don't have any of that anymore, so it's been great.
I was made to feel really quite positive about giving up smoking, and I felt quite elated that I'd managed it, and also felt that I had that extra time and money to myself where previously I was wasting my time smoking.